Hello again. Okay, well, come here. Come over here. Come on. I don't want to do that. You want to be fat? Come over here. Rub your belly, okay? Yeah, I love you too. You feel like it, okay? Hey, what's up, y'all? You know, I'm here just now, and I'm very spaced out with it. And I'm grateful for it, you know? There you go, good girl. This is Ashley. Come here. This is my girl, Ashley. She's a good looking. Come on. She's a good girl, right, Ashley? Okay, come on, good. Seem like to be handled. Come on. I'm not getting nothing. She could attitude. So, alright, so I'm here and, I'm thinking to myself, like, how is it possible for me to better myself without seeing my shit? Alright? So, alright, I'm sorry about that, I apologize. Okay, so I'm here, you know, at the time when people relationships click and when they separate to go their own way, you know, and it sucks that happens. But here's the thing that annoys me when they want you to keep real and be truthful, but when you speak it, they can't handle it regardless if it's about them or not, but not necessarily directed towards them. To where it comes to a projection where, you know, it makes them feel some kind of way, where I am now in the practice of conversing with someone or conversating without not having without having protection. You know what I mean? Like, not having protection. I'm just saying, like, some people, you know, we just different. And when you work on the internal, you're able to distinguish your thoughts from other thoughts. It's very fragile and delicate. This is why you gotta really not suppress your emotions, but rise above them, knowing that your emotion is the human side. That's the perspective of the physical. Because emotions are triggered from eternal. It's a physical experience. But within you feel the experience. But the experience is a choice. If we're not aware of our choices, I can choose to get upset based on what he or she says or do. It's challenging. And when I see others who are doing it, they are my teachers, and I'm the student. Although they doing something I don't like, they teach me what not to do. They teach me also what to do. Because in this universe, this spiral, there is a correspondence. We have to respect the opposite. We have to respect the correspondence of whatever it is in our life. I could be a righteous person, you know, wearing all, you know, white, halu, shawu, all that other shit, but I could also be a devil. Fuck shit up. But that's my choice. But my higher self has neither favoritism to either or. And I think that's the point of the Shahara. Shahara, right? If I pronounce it right, the crown chakra of detachment. Because it takes the ajna to see the false self, to comprehend that, hey, this is not me, it's just ego. To where now you direct your perspective, you direct your awareness inward. For instance, from pre-K kindergarten to 12 to college, we've been taught what to think and not how. And whatever we were taught, we was informed, where some outsiders inform us. We didn't outform anything. I'm outforming now as I'm speaking to you. I'm bringing these things out to you. I'm bringing these concepts to you. And as you watch these videos, in time you will see how I change. Because I'm practicing this bit by bit, eating the head of a rat. And please subscribe. The purpose of my channel is to motivate the true self without all the media interference. For instance, people talks about how, all this spiritual stuff, and you hear the what you could become, what you could do, and what you could manifest, but no one really says how. And that's the game. The how. No matter how many books I read, if they was out there, they'd be #1 sellers, and those who basically explain the how, if their direction is going inward, listen to them. They onto something, because I think it's a collective consciousness that has yet identified the other conscious, but yet we follow the signal, a frequency. They're taking us to a certain level, like a sense of guidance. And if you in tune, it's for you. If you're not, then you just follow what everybody do on your social media, then your emotions, and then but you watch too much goddamn television. The problem, many problems of people is watch too much television. If you watch more than 2 hours a day, every day, you will program, guaranteed. I stopped watching TV 2006, I think, 2005. No, 2005. 2004, I stopped watching television. Yeah, I remember. The show was in Ocean City. I was living in a beach house with a friend. He was a performing artist. He used to do spray can artwork on the boardwalk. His name was Cosmo Kid. It was pretty dope. Spray cans, he spray pictures of the universe and galaxy, and we clicked like that, to where my patience got me a beach house for a beautiful price for the rest of the summer. So I remember, there's a type of TV there, but I never watched TV either. We was working on beats, so I was in there making music, so I never really watched television because I was in tune with something else. Let us be more careful, because one thing to spirituality that's important is the message was to know thyself. And to know thyself does not mean the physical self at all. At all. It's to know the higher self. The self outside the ego of the projection within its density of X, Y, and Z. The third density, the infrared, the red and the rainbow. The density within the cube of existence. This is where we at. If I was to be here and I get up and walk over there, I would think I'm over there, but actuality, I didn't move at all. They said this is an illusion, holographic illusion. Explain how. If it's an illusion, why can't we manifest our reality to a command or order in sync with the harmony of the internal universe? See, black people was taught to look outside themselves with tricks. Where's heaven? Preacher man went like this. pointed up. But the wise man knew the preacher man was pointing to himself. And the wise man smiled. Winked his eye at the preacher man and kept moving. Because you know the preacher man was a trickster. Not all of them are that way. Some are good to their comprehension or understanding how they deliver the message. I'm just saying, bump the messenger, confront the message, and become the messenger. Become the message within the messenger. They call it Christ. They have names for it. Anointed. Conscience. Because right now I'm aware we're not really conscious. If we was really conscious, I would know how to. I would comprehend every single particle in my existence, from the astral to the physical. I would know it all as if I know my fingers, I can do this. But I know inside I'm connected to all this, right? If I was conscious, I would know how to figure it out, where I can manipulate my reality. So I'm saying to myself, and I'm saying to myself inside of you, those who are watching, to create your own reality, it only begins internally. It has to. And I'm applying the practice to do this, and bit by bit, I see the results. Patiently. Because each of us have our own timeline. You cannot spell time without I or me. Shout out to my mother, too. My girlfriend, mom. I said I can't spell time without me. She said you can't spell time without I. True. So, I'm a guy in my 40s. Been through so much. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care to become the victim of my experience or the product of my body, because this is not me. This is not me at all. And because that concept came to my mind, it's like, oh shit, that's a whole nother manual to discover. Okay, if this is not me, who am I then? As I'm looking into this view screen right now, I see that person right there. But I know behind my eyes, I'm seeing my eye, behind them eyes is the real person. Because I'm inside this physical body. So who is the one inside the body? Who is the being that exists? You know what I mean? It proceeds this dimension. It proceeds the realm. Think of a star. Stars turn into black holes because it collapses. Every star got a microscopic pinpoint of blackness that all that energy come out. I'm just saying. For many years I looked up, trying to find the answers. I wish I could go there, these constellations. I wish I had a spaceship. All the time I am the spaceship. Merkaba, whatever you want to call it. It's there. It's the same concept in The Last Airbender. Season 2, Earth, episode 10, I think the last one, when Aang met the Guru, and he went all through his chakras and he cleared out all the energy that was blocking the chakras with his higher self. He became one with the universe, but he was still stuck on an earthly being, an earthly person that he was in love to his earthly human side, and what did he do? He fell back down. Because I'm saying this task was challenging because I love my people. I appreciate those, even the ones that get on my goddamn nerves. But it's up to me to control how I allow them to affect my internal. If you hating on somebody, it ain't the person that's hating on the problem, it's you. It's you. Haters don't understand. When you hate, you're the problem, hater. It's you. You hate yourself because within yourself there's hate, and you allowing hate to exist in yourself. If there was no hate there, if you love yourself, there would be no hate there, be love there. Love yourself. But in order to love yourself, you gotta know thyself. How do we do that? Breathing, being still, going inside the silence of self, and really observing. You live life, I live life, we live life forward, but the only way to learn it is backwards. That's the only way to learn it is backwards. this this YouTube I had for years. In the beginning, I was coming with, consciousness back in 08, 09, and I fell back because of distraction and, the other things at the same time, I didn't want to be the first online. You hear all this conscious stuff now. Everybody talk about crystals and New Age. I didn't want to do that because that becomes the mundane, the norm, the mediocre. You know what I mean? I felt it was best to come in the midst of it while we're still going. And come out and say things that's profound. But how do you reach people? How do I reach people like that? I'm going to show you graphs, concepts, to understanding the Ori, the higher self, to understand how to vibrate higher. The title of my name will change. Right now, I'm on the vibrate higher situation because you have to vibrate higher to even put the concept I'll bring to you into practice. Because it takes a sacrifice where, imagine living in a place just you. I'm fortunate to have two beautiful felines. And these creatures teach me a whole level. And what they're doing, teaching me telepathy. But the part that's magnificent about it is, these creatures use telepathy. And within the telepathy, I'm able to distinguish my thoughts and their thoughts. But a three-way perspective, like their thoughts here, mine are here. But I'm viewing from outside the thoughts where I look at these cats in their eyes, and she's looking into me. I can feel her eyes look into me like she's saying something. And what I do is I invert my egoic, I invert the ego part and find myself in that creature. When I connect with that, oh, that's what she mean. And a lot of times she use meows or purrs when she creates the language. It's the most primordial shit ever, but it's the most beautiful thing because they both opening a corridor in my consciousness that was just sitting dormant, that we once used millions of years ago. And it's coming back. And it's the animals that's teaching. It's nature that's teaching if you watch. If you watch. I'm seeing cats and dogs talking now. I'm serious. Like dogs, they pronouncing words through their bark vocal, or the cats through their meow vocal. Like Scooby-Doo be talking. Yeah, like I'm seeing this shit more and more. That means the animals' conscious arises as well as ours. But what's happening is people like us, we so programmed because we was taught what to think. And subconsciously so programmed, we distracted by a lot of things outside us, so mainly our phones. This is the time, people, to pay attention to our eternal. Seriously. You and I both know things out here been crazy, but it's getting crazier because it's coming to our way and it's based off this media. What I'm saying to myself and to you, finding myself, is pay this shit no attention. Invert your will inside of you. This is the world, but the world is in the universe. If you go with inside yourself, that is the universe or the innerverse. The innerverse, everything that's out there is inside of us. That's why the messenger said, Christ said, what is above is below. Same as in and out, you know what I mean? Like, but we too focus on the external, not the internal. I went through a serious relationship shift, and it was painful. He was my friend, like 20 years, man. It's been so much struggle, you know. And there was an outside force affecting us, and it was the health. a lot of other things, but things take a toll on people, and when you don't feel some kind of way inside, it comes out in our attitude, in our character. So it came to a point where the woman always leaves the man, whether she's right or wrong. That's their biggest mistake. To a point where if there's ways to repair, repolish, replenish, to make it better, to bring forth an intention like, hey, I'm not feeling this, that, and the other, and she doing the same, vice versa. Let's reset this. Cool. But some people get caught up in their feelings, so, and feelings, I get it, it comes from this human experience. But emotions, when emotions control you, where you get into your emotions and you react based off how you feel, that's weakness. That's extreme weakness. To the point where the conscious, the higher self, is submitting to foolishness. Letting something dictate you. That you have complete control over, where you can choose to let it fuck you over, mess you up, make you twitch, whatever, get on your nerves, how you want to call it. Or you can choose not to. And by choosing not to, most part, it's a sense of vibrating higher, where shit bounces off you. It don't even touch you. It just hits your aura field. You don't even connect to, like, you see the intent of whatever it is that coming at you, whoever throwing at you, you see the true intent of it, and you don't let it bother you. A lot of times, I can't get mad at people because I see a child. Like a little kid, 2, 3 years old, ugly. You're not getting mad at that kid. You ugly. Look at your little ass out of here. But this kid is cute, but this kid grows up to become an adult. Well, these adults are all children. And the problem is, they acting like adults too fucking much. And taking shit too fucking personal. When you know the person that you talking to, building with, or whatever, you know them. Oh, here's right. I thought I lost this. Wow, to leave. Oh, here's right. All right. I'm just saying, right? Excuse me for a second. I'll leave it there, fine. I'm just saying. I'm not perfect. Because I'm not supposed to be. We're not perfect. We're not supposed to be perfect. But, but if we was perfect, we wouldn't be here experiencing this life. Because this is a school, whether you want to accept it or not. We're here to learn, develop the character. But in my case, who is experienced the character more than the character that's here that you see in front of me? My government name, the ego. Who is the one that's beyond this realm, that is projecting itself into this self to learn itself? That's the concept of Nut, the great Mama Nut, where you get the words nature, nutrients, nurturer, the cosmic mother, the divine mother. She wanted to learn herself. She came out herself. She had no consort, have a child, and when the child was speaking of the mother, saying that when God wanted to learn itself, God came out itself. To learn itself, meaning the female and the male. I couldn't say to God learn herself, because her was no concept. You can't have a her without a him. You can't have a other way around. You know what I'm saying? So the her, there was no concept of the her or she, he, because it was just the feminine principle. But in order for that to learn itself, it came out itself, and then when he looked to his right, he saw a woman, the breast of a woman. That's the child being born. The mother put the breast to the head, and that's a woman. So she came out herself to learn herself. That's the same concept of correspondence here on earth, where the higher self come out of itself into the ego form perspective of this reality to know itself. It may not get it in this life. It may take 1,000 lifetimes to get to know itself, to remember itself. That's the whole concept of the metaphysical concept of the fallen one third, where we are beings who fell into this physical trap of light. This is light right here, the physical light. We are a spectrum of the rainbow of this realm, of this prism, of this planet within this cube of existence. The planet, space, galaxies, all that shit. You know what I mean? So when you know that exists, you can't really go beyond, the heaven stars. It's very far out there. But when you realize that it's not far at all, if you go within, you're right there. Once you get past all the configurations, all the different feels and vibes, something starts changing. You start vibrating. Oh, it's intense. I reached it a couple times, maybe 3 times. No, about 3. It scared the shit out of me. Fear. Fear would mess it up. Fear would. In this realm of this roots, fear is what blocks the survival. But from an internal experience and message, I was told not to fear. So listen. I appreciate talking to myself. And those who's watching, listening, I don't care for a split second. Thank you for your awareness. I close by saying, this is my attempt to become a student and a teacher at the same time. And really walk the walk. Because, you can read all the books you want, it's all you want, and you won't become divine unless you take the time, can't spell time without I and me, and work on your internal. Go inside to rediscover what's there that was forgotten about. That's the challenge, because this is the light realm out here. Inside the dark realm. That's the shit the Western world is putting in horror movies to have you afraid of. The Baphomet 666, which is electrons, protons, neutrons. All that stuff, because internally is how you manipulate this physical realm of light. Remember, light comes from darkness. So, we as black people, by default, or African Americans, whatever you want to call Native Americans, melanated people like to say, we come from darkness by default. There is no beginning for us. Our soul is pure energy. It can't be created or destroyed. So, when Westerners come with the concept, in the beginning, God let there be light, that's cool. But everyone who's conscious with melanin, we know inside there's a difference between in the beginning and at the beginning. You feel me? We was already here. But you won't comprehend that unless you start becoming aware of your conscious to go deeper, to realize, hey, this is not me. Who am I? And you start experiencing your blood and your ancestors, the history line of your lineage. And it's dope. And it makes sense why we've been treated the way we've been treated. I understand. You know what I mean? I get it. It's just pure hate. One hating himself, to a point where they want to hurt another. Well, anyway, I'll be back soon with more. But take accountability for the choices you make to feel them. In simple terms, your feelings, nobody can hurt your feelings but you, because they're your feelings. Who the fuck care how you feel? That's why the most aggressive concept now is fuck your feelings. That shit is real. That shit is fucking real. Fuck your feelings. You choose to get unhurt. Like, you choose that shit. If I know I'm not, okay. If I was advised to stop acting human, powerful shit. Stop acting human. What does that mean? Ooh. Ask yourself that question. First say, I'm gonna stop acting human. And then ask, what do that mean? And the whole concept of consciousness door gate will open up. At your pace and in your rhythm. The growth process. Because, you know, black people got a habit say, I'm grown, I'm grown, I'm grown. But me, anybody who says that, I know them motherfuckers are stuck. Nigga, you always grown. How the fuck you grown? You always grown. You think because you older, you know shit, nigga, whatever. That's why you got a problem with the young generation now. You don't know fucking everything. A child will lead them. Listen to them little motherfuckers. They ain't stupid. Some of them kids out there, souls are older than yours, nigga. They back here, they know shit, they doing things. You can listen to them. And then offer your advice to them. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, these motherfuckers are hard-headed. Got you. But you don't want to give them advice and they reject the shit because your approach is fucked up. That's the problem. They don't want to respect you because you're not respecting them. They're the youth, they're young, they don't know anything. Let me approach them in a motivated way. Give them an option. Hey, young person, hey, young one, you can do this, and this, that, and the other may happen to you. Or you could do this, and this for sure will happen to you. Make a little motherfucker do this shit. And think. Well, y'all, I'm gonna go. I got a good weekend had of coming up. I'm gonna roll me a joint, a spliff, you know, and do some broadcasting on another platform. Okay? So y'all have a good night, a good day. Curaleaf, and that's dope. Alright guys, thank you. Good night. Good night. In